Do I have to go over the credentials here for the video? I'm excited to watch. It's the play. Or not, because muted. Let me just like do that thing that people do. Hey, dear. Wait, nope, that's not it. That's not. It's doing pretty good, Daisy. Glad to hear. When's the next time you guys are going to stream? Great. Can't wait, Mr. Ghost. Let me see here. Okay. Let me think about what I'm supposed to say here for the YouTube. I played through Ultimate Survival 1. I can't wait to play through 2. Let's get started. Hey, Sam, I've been very sick. I lost my voice. Well, take it easy. Don't push yourself too hard if you can't do it, okay? I played through Ultimate Survival 1 and can't wait to play through Ultimate Survival 2. I messed it up. Let's frickin' go. He built all this, by the way. Yeah. Wait, hold on. You guys can't hear nothing. It's the big character of it's the main character of Fortnite, obviously.
Year, I've been transforming every single detail in vanilla Minecraft. Biomes, mobs.
Okay, it's repeating on itself now. Great. Let's not use that web. Let's not use this one then. Guess I'll have it on there for now. How about this one?
For the past year,
I've
been transforming.
You know, I'm not doing it again. Let's go.
I've been transforming every single detail in vanilla.
I've reset like 15 times.
Biomes, structures, mobs, mechanics, even the lore. All reimagined on one massive.
Glade, how's your dad? Tell me about
Ultimate
it.
Survival World 2.
I'd go.
And today, I've finally reached the biome I've been dreading. The taiga. Now, you're probably expecting Vikings. Yeah,
again.
So was I.
But that's what you did last time, isn't
Problem
it?
is, I already did that.
Yeah. I was like, you already did that.
Isn't about doing what's expected. So, I dropped everything I thought I knew and went in blind. No blueprint, no concept, just a question. What could the taiga become if I stopped thinking like a Minecraft builder? And to answer that, I had to leave the game.
And go into the real life.
My search for inspiration brought me to what may be the strangest ecosystem on Earth.
Yellowstone National Park.
Yay!
Tiger in real life.
Yellowstone!
A place that doesn't feel real. Where dense forests grow on top of an active supervolcano. Where freezing winters collide with boiling geysers. Fire and frost fight for control. And the land just feels
I've seen one. I've gone to one before.
And that
Very
tension
cool.
between the elements completely rewired how I saw this biome. Suddenly, it all made sense.
It's a taiga.
With volcanic activity already prevalent on this island I'm creating, why wouldn't it affect other biomes? It's already covered the Pale Garden in ash and split up the island after all. And with that in mind, I was able to carve out the start of an epic landscape. Now before I get stuck into the landscape, my very first product as an official Minecraft partner is launching
Oh my
soon on
god,
the
there's a kid. I forgot
Ultimate
they did
Survival
that.
Solarpunk Island lets you explore my USW flower forest transformation, complete with quests, custom weapons and armor, a boss battle, and tons more. We've poured so much into this, and I can't wait for you to see it. Full trailer dropping on the channel very soon.
Yay.
Okay, so one of the most iconic features Steph and I discovered at Yellowstone is actually what gave the park its name. It's Yellowstone. The cliffs are not only striking shapes due to the park's hydrothermal activity, but they've also got this vibrant colour caused by iron compounds in the earth oxidizing. They're
You went to the
basically
Grand
rusty
Canyon?
mountains, and that feels kind of appropriate for Minecraft, where we all mine a ton of iron to survive. So I had to include some of my own.
I guess this is where we're getting all of our iron.
That being said, the colours just got crazier the more we explored. So crazy, in fact, it made the colour wheel biome configuration of the USW island almost look natural. This is the Grand Prismatic
Oh my
Spring.
god,
One of the
what?
most iconic natural phenomena in
That's
the world.
so
And seeing it in
cool.
person made me realise just how vibrant the colours are. But it's more than just iron that causes this vibrant gradient. It's actually caused by living organisms called thermophiles. Different microbes prefer different temperatures, and the bacteria they produce differs in colour too. And this was something we saw across the whole park. I just had to bring a bit of this magic to my build, recreating this epic hot spring in one of the valleys I'd carved out, and surrounding it with some geysers.
Muck
I'll be
grenade.
making these actually functional later in the video, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, with my terrain painted
Yeah, with
and
modding
snow added
or
to my mountain peaks,
Not
I
quite
realised something was
modding.
missing. During our trip, we'd seen some truly
With,
epic waterfalls,
Resource packs,
and I
you
just
can make
had to
anything
add one of
possible.
my own, cascading
And
down the
modding.
mountain cliffs. And then the next missing ingredient are tiger trees. I designed a lot of variants for this one, as it always sucks to be exploring a world and feeling like you're coming across the same copy-pasted assets over and over again. To make things feel even more natural, I also built some fallen trees and boulders. And we've ended up with a ton of assets to place down across the biome. These trees, just like all the trees on the island, will work with the Tree Feller enchantment and custom sapling system.
Tree
So you
Feller.
can easily chop them down, they'll only drop the resources you want, and you can replant them too.
Confirm mod or
Anyway,
resource
with my
pack.
assets finished,
Ah,
I
yeah, but
started
that's dead, but
populating
tell
the
me all about
landscape.
it.
I also decided to include some dead trees around the hot springs area. Wildfires aren't really something you have to think about where I'm from, but seeing how it affected parts of Yellowstone really stuck with me.
Ah, the trees turned
Anyway,
white.
with the remaining trees and boulders placed, and some snowy variants incorporated near the snow-capped mountains,
That's so
I added the finishing
cool.
touches of
Look at
podzol,
that.
grass, ferns, and leaves scattered across the forest floor. And with the environment finally in place, the biome was looking awesome. Yet somehow it still felt incomplete. As Steph and I thought back on our travels through Montana and Wyoming, one thing kept standing out. The moments that stuck with us most all had one thing in common: wildlife. Herds of bison charging through the valleys, moose quietly grazing beneath the mountains, and my personal highlight,
A lot.
the chipmunk who hitched a ride on top
It's
of my cat.
giant. You should have seen USW 1.
And that was the missing ingredient: ambient mobs, wildlife.
Moose.
Encounters that make exploration feel alive.
Chipmunks.
So, that's exactly what we added to the map.
Yeah, custom mobs.
But
They even added
explore with
monkeys.
caution. These bison will charge if you get too close.
Bison.
And something tells me that won't be the last of the hostile mobs
Bears!
I'll be bringing to this tiger transformation. Okay, but other
Bears.
than ambient mobs, who actually lives here? What about the tiger's villagers? In a biome where fire and frost
Alright,
feel like
time
they're
to go over the
constantly in
village.
conflict, I didn't want the villagers here to tame the land.
We get
I
one
wanted them to
per
work with it,
part
to
of the
complement
island.
it. But how exactly? Well, the idea only really clicked when we were exploring Yellowstone. Everywhere we went, the horizon was either swallowed by forests as far as the eye could see, or erupting with steam, like the land itself was breathing fire. Surrounded by endless trees and geothermal steam pouring from the ground, the concept suddenly snapped into focus. Steampunk lumberjacks. Okay, yeah, I know these two don't normally go together, but hear me out. A civilization of master woodworkers, rooted in tiger tradition, but wildly inventive, using the steam beneath their feet to power Da Vinci-style contraptions and experimental machinery. And that's how the Steamwood engineers were born, our transformation of the tiger villagers. First up, I wanted to sort of combine a transformation of vanilla Minecraft's Toolsmith with the lumberjack culture of the Steamwood engineers. So this is the Timberworks. Woodcraft is the foundation of this village. The villagers live in log cabins and craft their tools and inventions primarily from wood. So, naturally, they needed a nice big building for chopping and storing logs, as well as building parts for their many contraptions. I built this layered log cabin wall effect by combining stripped logs and stairs to give the illusion of full logs running through the structure.
That's
and I
so
think it
cool.
works pretty well. I wanted it to almost look like the Steamwood engineers have got carried away with their inventing,
He's a genius.
constantly adding extensions and contraptions to their buildings. So
And you
that's
wonder
where the
why I
multi-layered
copied his
composition
WOD
of this building
design.
comes from. But it's also why I decided to
And,
build a
on our
bunch of
server.
contraption assets to the side, including gears and water wheels, which will be powered by the biome's geothermal steam to run the village's many inventions. Next, I tackled upgrading the vanilla farmer profession. This building is known as the Crop Works. I built a main barn, and on top I came up with this contraption that the villagers use to detect the air's humidity. The sails rotate through the air, picking up moisture, providing useful intel for the Steamwood farmers. But what for exactly? Well, it's all part of their innovative crop growing methods, which they carry out in this greenhouse structure I've attached to the side of the building. The idea is that this greenhouse transports geothermal steam via pipes to regulate humidity and temperature to grow a variety of crops all year round. With all the use of geothermal steam planned throughout the village, I thought it'd be neat if there was a building that was sort of a hub for the distribution of steam power throughout the village. So this one's called the Steam Hub. It's essentially the beating heart of the village, not only functionally, but visually too. I love how the boiler tanks turned out. Somehow they fit with the log cabin vibe really nicely. Okay, so for some of the Tigers building, I enlisted the help of my good friends Tom Steen and Brune. Without these guys, there's no way I would have got the build done, especially while we've been getting set up on the Minecraft marketplace. This is Tom's awesome forge build, which is essentially the Steamwood Village's upgraded weaponsmith. Next, Brune worked on the
It's
butcher transformation
Snapshot!
with a large oven and store out front.
Hi, Snapshot. How's your day? But tell me about
Tom
it.
then whipped up this awesome windmill building so the villagers can take advantage of all the elements for power. And then it was time to create a few generic houses where our villagers could actually
Alright,
live.
people are
They need
here.
a place to rest
Hello
after
there.
working all the machinery elsewhere.
Hey, there's just
So while the
Mr.
village was
Ghost
coming
and
together,
Gambit
I
and
got thinking,
Jumsy
these
and
buildings
Daisy.
aren't just decorative. Almost
That's
every
it.
structure
Oh,
here
and
taps
Private
into
Glade. Can't
geothermal
forget
steam
about
in some way. It's all functional. And then it hit me. If the Steamwood engineers can harness steam to power buildings, why stop there? And that's how their biggest invention was born, the Steam Hopper.
Steam
Inspired
Hopper!
by the geysers of Yellowstone, especially Old
Are we
Faithful,
gonna
which
fly
shoots
off
nearly
of
200
geysers
feet
with
in the
this
air,
thing?
I imagine what it'd be like to glide across the biome using bursts of steam. Lucky for me, Minecraft is a lot more forgiving than real life. So I built this Steam Hopper workshop, where the villagers have engineered
my
their
God,
very
it's
own
so
flying
cool.
contraption. And they're even
Look,
working
it's
on
like
crafting
the
a new,
original
bigger prototype, which
airplane
they're storing atop
prototype.
the workshop for now.
Made by the Wright brothers.
Anyway, that's all fine and dandy, but my geysers don't actually function
I
right now. So that's where the
It
Trixyblox
was used by
team
Amelia
works the magic.
Earhart. Oh, there you go.
As some of you may remember, the Ultimate Survivor World 2 runs like a giant clock, with each day bringing a special biome event. For the Tiger, it's the Steam Surge. So during this special event, we made the geysers I built actually
Oh my God,
function,
look at that.
shooting massive plumes of steam and water up from the ground. But you've got to tread carefully. One wrong step without protection and you'll get scolded. Anyway, this special event is essential to the Steam Hopper's use. Through a series of quests, you'll work
so we get
alongside
to
the
launch.
engineers to craft this Da Vinci-inspired flying contraption, then launch yourself skyward
Yeah!
via my geysers to take flight
Got
across the
it.
Tiger. Don't worry, I've been assured it's mostly safe.
There they go. Hi, Declan.
Before
How's
we
your day? But
continue,
tell me how
I'd like
about
to thank today's sponsor, FlexiSpot. I spend hours
God.
building my creations at my
They're
desk, and
a
that's why having
genius
the right
builder
support
who's
cubed
making
just
a
steps the higher
second
budget-friendly and 30
survival-friendly
just so they all match together.
insane
Then
build
created some
world.
decorations with Brune, and finally got to placing everything down throughout the Tiger Valley. This part always
I
takes
have
a
it.
surprisingly long time, as I've got to fix up the terrain after pasting things in, and add all of the decorations and pathways to keep things survival friendly too. There are also a lot of boardwalks at Yellowstone due to the hot, unstable ground, so I went ahead and built some of those here too. So the Tiger Village is all finished, but behind it lies a mysterious mountain known as Grizzly Peak, so named
And
for two
finished
reasons.
50% of it.
One,
but
it's shaped like a
40% of
bear,
it by
and
fast
two, it's home to some.
How the...
To build this mountain,
No, my
I
question,
sculpted a bear head in a pretty realistic style.
It's
and
a
then
bear.
kind of worked backwards.
It's a
I didn't want this mountain
bear.
to look like a giant statue. I wanted it to look natural, as though the mountain just happened to look that way. So I built outwards, adding sections of rock onto the sculpt to
I
create this sort of
suppose
bouldery
if I
effect,
can find where I
actually
put it.
inspired by Grizzly Peak at Disney California.
Oh my god, it's Grizzly Peak.
Funny enough, the matching names were actually a coincidence, but it's a nice nod to the inspiration. And yes, you heard me correctly earlier. This mountain is actually home
because
to
then
some
I'd be
bears,
scamming
my
this,
latest custom
this
mob edition.
awesome guy out of his money.
After seeing so many at Yellowstone, I just couldn't help myself.
Hey, it's waved.
Not that our footage does them any justice.
It's Grimer.
Let's just pretend these are totally
I've
our
got
shots instead.
Make... who should we make
Anyway,
waved into
within
chat?
the mouth of this peak
It
lies
can
a
be
cavern,
Gengar. Gigantic.
said to be home to a grizzly and her adorable little cubs.
You can be a regular Gengar.
In fact, these
There you
bears have
go.
found themselves venturing into the Steamwood village in search for food. Your quest will be to find a way to keep both the bears and the villagers safe. But beware, as cute as they look, these bears are pretty sensitive to how you interact with them.
Oh yeah, I
We've
forgot
literally
that there's a
coded this mob
boss.
so that your approach completely alters how your interaction pans out. Get too close, turn your back or run at the wrong time, and you might just be a goner. Okay, so what are we building next? Well, with some wildfire activity near the hot springs area, the Steamwood engineers came up with a plan for managing the fires. And
It's
they
that thing
constructed
from
a fire
Raft.
watchtower to the east of
It's
the
a
village.
watchtower. No, from Raft it's a radio tower, but it's fine. You know what's so cool about all these builds?
They built this
Their
tower as a
entire-
safeguard,
the entire
a high
inside
vantage
is
point where they could
all
monitor
furnished.
wildfires, steam surges, and seismic shifts across the taiga. But over time, the villagers stationed at the tower began to see things differently. Every day, they watched the biome's movements, how it seemed alive, and their wonder slowly warped into paranoia. The main village was somewhat sheltered from this. They were shielded by the trees, and had harnessed the smaller steam vents for their inventions. But over at the tower, the view was quite
It's a
different.
pillager.
Just the pure forces of the biome, and too much time to watch them. Feeling abandoned and exploited by their fellow villagers, those at the tower shifted their focus to their own survival. The protection of their camp and resources took over everything else.
Oh, they're making a pillager outpost. Hold on. Oops.
And that was the
Hold on, I need to go take medicine. Hold on. Just have to go get my go get water. I'm back.
turning point, from villagers to pillagers. So actually, this is a transformation of Minecraft's pillager outpost. The first on the island, in fact.
Nice.
This multi-layered tower is full of surprises and crawling with pillagers. It's going to be an awesome challenge when you guys play the map. Let me know in the comments which other biomes should get outposts and what themes they should be.
Oh my god, look at their animations.
It turns out the taiga
They're
has
actually
even more
stanced up.
dangers hidden in the mountains, which is home to the taiga's witch coven.
Witches.
I was actually influenced by the Celtic folklore that inspired the druids from Dungeons & Dragons for this taiga transformation of vanilla Minecraft's witches. In Celtic folklore, druids and witches were said to be keepers of balance, deriving their power from nature. Similarly, our witches were drawn to the taiga for its raw power. The biome itself is alive, full of activity they could use to anchor their wild magic, but with the safety of the mountains and forests to conceal them from others inhabiting the island. And so when building their settlement in the mountains, I wanted the buildings to really feel at one with nature. These eerie, little overgrown huts tucked into the landscape, with these large antlers and magical symbols incorporated into the building designs. These antlers were inspired by the Celtic god Cernunnos, a horned deity known to represent the wild, matching the coven perfectly. And the use of antlers even extended to our redesign of the actual witch mob as well.
Oh my god, they
Our
redesigned
witches
the
wear
witches.
those same antlers as headdresses, symbolising their communion with the wild. Tom and I worked on a few varieties of the witches' huts.
Like, this looks so much better than the than USDW
And then I got to
1.
work whipping up
Just off the
decorations.
fact that it's
Most
modded.
importantly, these large stones with the witches' symbols etched into them, anchoring their magic throughout the coven.
It's not confirmed if it's modded or if it's
I
resource
then placed
packs,
everything down, bearing in mind that the witches are mostly trying to blend in with their surroundings. So I tried to keep the landscape intact. This area is more about immersion at ground level than building a crazy centerpiece like some of the other builds on the island. I also thought this would be a great opportunity to go even further with the transformation and reimagine an item every Minecrafter knows well.
I don't know.
The
it very
Totem
well.
of Undying.
I almost never use that thing.
Now don't worry, I won't be replacing it, but I've decided to add a new totem to the roster, the Totem of Influence. Crafted by the Tiger Coven, this totem does exactly what you'd expect it to do. It gives you influence over nature. How exactly? Well, you can use the totem on many mobs to get them to fight at your side.
Oh my
for a set
god,
duration,
it's actually a
helping you out of
useful
sticky
item.
situations or even getting you through tough boss battles. It's pretty neat, but you'll have to befriend the witches to nab the recipe. Now obviously, our witches aren't too fond of newcomers, but I think you guys will come to realise that they're a bit misunderstood. You see, over centuries, some members of the Coven sought further power from a dark realm. Some believe it to be the Nether, others say it was the End, and many believe it's a dimension not yet discovered.
Ah!
Either way,
I
the
forgot
Coven
that
went
they're
too far.
making
They awakened
Aether.
a deity known as the Dark Wolf,
Oh,
said
there's
to be
the
unleashed
boss.
on those who break the natural
There's the boss of the.
Before it could lay
part
waste to
of
the
this,
tiger,
the
the witches
tiger biome.
bound it, using most of their remaining magic to do so. And that's where you guys come in. Once you've progressed enough in the tiger's questline, you can help the witches vanquish the threat of the Dark Wolf once and for all. You'll join forces to collect and craft 3 summoning talismans to bring the Dark Wolf forth into the overworld
God,
realm
look
in
at
this
it.
arena, built by the witches to house this epic battle. Look guys, they're really counting on your arrival. And so, this is where you'll take on the Tiger's boss battle, the Dark Wolf. This one is our best boss yet. Crazy dynamic attacks, different battle states. I mean, this thing even jumps between dimensions to disorientate you before charging back towards you in the overworld.
Ah!
And I'll leave the rest for you guys to discover for yourselves. Let me know in the comments which boss you'd like
There's
to
the
see
bee
next.
boss.
We're transforming
of,
vanilla
the
mobs for
forest
each
biome,
biome's
the
boss
flower
battle.
forest. That's the.
And with that, the Tiger of
hill
the Ultimate Survival
garden
World
boss.
2 is transformed. Let's check it out.
My side. Most. The awesome geyser area with the. I forget what he called it. Whoa. Can't wait to play it. Take all the time you need to make more.
Remember to subscribe and
Can't wait to
comment
see
your
the
project
Aether
ideas below,
biome.
including
Or
what you
whatever
want to see
you're
on
hinting at.
Minecraft Marketplace
He's
first.
making a new dimension,
Thanks as always
chat.
to my top Patreon
And he's
supporters,
hinting at it,
and
but we don't
I'll
really
see you
know what
guys
it
in the
is.
next one.
Presumably the Aether. Alright. Let's go set up Smashy Bros. Okay. Just chatting to Smashy Bros.